Parshas Matois, Tafshin Pei Dalet. We're going to go into a very interesting subject in which I'm going to give you a side for Yom Kippur, something huge, huge. Okay. Let's go into very short psukim. Two psukim. Vaidaber Moshe el Roshei Hamatos. Just by the first words of the Parasha, we know we change the regular way to start a subject. Usually it starts by Daber Hashem el Moshe Leimor. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe, Moshe tells the Bnei Israel, and so forth. Why? To always relate every mitzvah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Here, Moshe Rabbeinu comes out of nowhere and says, El Roshei Hamatos. Very, very seldom language in the Torah. We call them the Nesim, we call them all kind of names, but we don't call them Roshei Hamatos. And it's Roshei, the head. Matos could be the sticks, could be also the tribes, the Shvatim, Livnei Yisrael, of the Bnei Israel. Oh my goodness. What, we thought this Bnei Esav here we're talking to, Moshe Rabbeinu is going to talk to? What's this language? Today I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to go on the second pasuk. A little bit on the end of the first pasuk. Zei Hadavar. This is the thing. Asher Tziva Hashem. Oh, finally he tells us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu ordered it. Where? It's not mentioned anywhere. So you should have said, here HaKadosh Baruch Hu, prior from you talking to the Roshei Hamatos. So he should have said, Vaidaber Hashem el Moshe Leimor. Because at the end of the pasuk, you add me, Asher Tziva Hashem. Don't think it's from my own self that I decided those mitzvahs. No, it's from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Very strange, very, very strange pasuk. Really upside down. I could go on it for a little while. But this is the main thing I want to pass on and learn today. Ish tiyider neder. A person, I don't know how to yidor, making a neder. You could have said ki yidor. You didn't have to say neder. Yidor is coming from the word neder. So you didn't have to repeat, and everywhere in the Torah it's going to say neder, it's going to say yidor neder. Isha kisidor neder. Hashem. When you're going to make a neder to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Interesting, this repetition of language that we're going to see through this Parasha of Nedarim. Lashem. When you're going to make a neder, what? Lashem, to Hashem? So we're not talking about regular Nedarim. What is this Neder Lashem? We're going to go into it. Oy Hishava Shvur. You see, Ki Yidor is an active tense. Yidor, the person does it. Hishava is passive. What's the difference between the Neder and the Shvur? Here it seems to be like he does it intentionally, like almost here, the tense of the verb tells me it was unintentional. But no, a shvur that's unintentional is not valid. Has to be intentional. Why it doesn't say yishava with the yud, it should have said, not with the hey. Shvur, you can see it's missing the vav. Where is my vav here? It's gone. Again, le'eser isar, because he wants to add an isur. Le'eser isar, it means like something that's permitted, turning it into a forbidden item. So le'eser isars, again, the same language, repetition of language. Al nafshoy, on himself, in case you thought he can answer something mutter on his friend. Lo yachel devaro, is not allowed to transgress his speech, his words, his dibur, and the Torah is going to come back at it. Kechol hayoytze mipiv yaseh. Everything, it has to accomplish everything that came out through his mouth. Basically here, it's evident that the pasuk wants to tell us the importance of speech. The importance of accomplishing what a person says. Because with the speech, despite that the speech seems weaker than an action, oh, you all talk, you're not action. In this world, we value more an action than a speech, but when you, because we only see the world we live in. But in truth, when you take the total of the world, the speech is much stronger than an action. To give you the clear example, Hakoil kol Yaakov vayodayim yedei Esav. The hands of Esav have almost never been able to beat Yaakov. The coil of Yaakov, without weapons, has always brought victory to the Bnei Israel through ages, until today. So we see the Dibur has a tremendous koyach to build worlds or to destroy worlds. To the point that Shlomo HaMelech says in Mishlei, we see the Gemara later also, it's brought down in Shabbos Lamed Beis. Im ein lecha leshalem, if you don't have with what to pay, I mean for your neighbor, lama yikach mishkavcha mitachtecha. Why should your couch be taken from under you? Who's the couch of a person? His wife. Gemara learns that be'avan nedarim, the wife of the person dies. Hold it. That's a very interesting thing. A person sins, he doesn't keep his word, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will take his wife. Is that would you call this justice? No, it's a travesty. And the Gemara keeps on there and says that with the Avan Nedarim, Banav Shel Adam Meisim, the children, what have they done? They're just children. What should they pay for their father? The guy made a neder, he transgressed it. Now you want to take someone else instead of him? What was it? That might be his wife, but it's a different body. And the proof is, if she would know that her husband does such a thing, and she would know she would be in danger, she would ask for a get. Why should she die? There's no travesty in justice. So what kind of justice is this? What kind of justice? We're going to learn Choshen Mishpat together now. The Shulchan Aruch in Choshen Mishpat, Peizayin, it's where in Tein Venitan, this is where all the Hilchos Shvuah. So you know that in Beis Din we make people swear, not anymore today, but they used to make people swear in case it was required. So let's see what the Mechaber of Yosef Karo Zatzal says about the Shvuah. He took his lashon from the Torah, the son of the Rosh. Koydem sheyashbiyuhu prior to make a person swear, we tell him, Heve Yodea, no, Shekol Ha'olam Nizdadeya. All the entire world trembled. B'sha'ar she'amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu lo yisisa. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, don't carry in vain my name. The whole world trembled because they saw that people might do it. So they said, we are destroyed. We are finished. We cannot remain standing. And in all the scenes of the Torah, it says, Venake. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will clean. It's one of the 13 attributes of Rachamim. So it says, Venake, he will clean, he will pass over, finish, like it never happened, like a Yom Kippur when we do tshuva. Vekan ne'ema lo yenake. And on Shavua, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will not forgive and not forgo. The person will pay for it. And we'll see how far it goes. V'chol ha'avera shebat Torah, and all the sins of the Torah, nifraim mimenu. He pays for that. V'kan, and here, mimenu umimishpachtu, from him and from his family. V'lo oid. And not only that, Ela shegoyrem lipara mison ehem shel Yisrael. He engenders that we don't want to say Bnei Yisrael. That's what we call them. We bring the klala. When we say klala, we always bring it on the haters of the Jews. So the Jews, other Jews will pay for it. He brings the din also on other Jews. Shekol Israel arevim zelazeh, because every Bnei Israel are guaranteed one another. Kol averoi shebat Torah, all the sins of the Torah. Toilim loi, we hang, the sin. Shnaim ushloisha doiros, 2 or 3 generations. Im yesh lo ischus, if he has a schus. Vekan nifraim miyad. But for anything that comes of the mouth, the sin, the payment is immediate. Dvarim she'en eish umayim mechalim, things that fire and water cannot destroy. Mechalim oisam. Shvua sheker mechale oisam. A shvua in lying, a lie. A shvua sheker, finishing them up. We see here the importance of a diבור of a person. Poking, just saying something, not keeping a word, not keeping lo yachal devaroi, is mechalel from chilul Shabbos, transgressing. What have I built already with a diבור that it's so important that you're going to call it chilul? We say in the Gemara, I'll say dibur or mevatel dibur. If you said something, say something else, and you're going to be mevatel the first one. You name the shliach, he's gone. You can name another shliach and you mevatel the first one. So big deal. I don't have to stick all the time. We see a lot of halachas. I don't have to stick by my word. What is this word that's so important in neder, or certain things are basically the worlds stand on it. Not only the low world, the upper worlds too. And upper worlds, they all stand on this hevel, this forgot how I translated it on Shabbos, in the shir on Shabbos, the air, because you push air, and with the teeth and the lips and the tongue, we cutting the coil, the voice, and it turns into words. So at the base, it starts with air. So why is that one any different than than some others? Why here there's no possibility of tshuva? Tshuva is above all. Lo yenake. Wait, you're gonna see. Wait, you're gonna see the chumrah. If you think we have touched anything about the chumrah of the thing, we haven't even touched. What is the side of the dibur? What am I accomplishing when I'm opening my mouth and I'm using just words? I'm saying words. I don't want to hurt the other guy, so I'm going to say a lie. Or, I didn't exactly say the truth. So now, I came late to work or whatever, and I tell the boss, there was a lot of traffic. It's a lie. Shaker in the mouth. What does he do? Besides the fact that you stole him because you're not honest on the time, so there's an Indian of Gneba. Here, there's a bigger Indian. To the point says, devar again, devar dibur, ze hadavar. This is the thing. All the same root. What is the side of the dibur? What is the side? We spoke about the mouth, we spoke about lashon hara, we spoke about everything. Today we're going to go way deeper. We're going to speak about the dibur, the speech. What does it represent? We need to understand. We spoke in general terms till now. We're going to understand where it's coming from, where it originates, and what does it affect. Exactly. We're not going to go anymore. Oh, it's bad. Everybody knows lashon hara, dibur, motzi shemra, all this. No. We're going to go in the nuts and shell, open the whole engine, look into it, and understand everything how it works. The Midrash Tanchuma comes with an atomic bomb. And he says, if you want to know what's the reason HaKadosh Baruch Hu forbade the Nedarim, it's because it's siyag, it's a protection for Shavuot. Because if you were allowed to make Nedarim, you would come to be mo'el, to transgress your Shavuot. In other words, let me say it in my English, there's no Isur in Neder. The only Isur, it's a Gzera because of Shavuot. No, that's not what the pasuk says. I am 100% sorry about this. The pasuk says clearly, we saw it. Ish ki yidor neder. He even started with a neder. Oy hishab lo yachel devaro. He is not allowed to transgress his dibur. We see that. And now you're telling me that, the neder is not so important. It's not really the dibur per se. Is we try to protect the Shavuot. Why? Because there's something very particular about Shavuot. And keeps on. So we have a question already on the Tanchum, on the Midrash. But the Midrash comes here and it's going to bomb our minds. And he says, when it says, Lo yisisa Hashem Hashem Elokecha lashar, do not mention the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in vain, ki lo yenake, because he's not going to forgive you. He's not going to clean that sin. Says the Midrash Tanchuma. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Israel, if you think you can swear on my name, you have to know there is no forgiveness for that sin in this world. Now we understand what tshuva doesn't work. Tshuva can only work if you can reach forgiveness. Tshuva is the bridge. We on one side of the mountain. You want to reach to the other side. You go through the bridge. But here, there's no other side. It's a bridge to nowhere. He's going to be punished in this world, but that's not going to remove the sin. And he's going to be repunished in the next world. And we'll see how. Huge, huge that union. Only he says, Es Hashem Elokecha tira, ve'oisoi savoid, uvishmoi, uvoisidbak, uvishmoi tishaveya. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to the Bnei Yisrael, says the Midrash, if you are like Avraham, that was fearing Hashem, if you're like Iyad, that was worshiping Hashem, oisoi savoid, and if you like Yosef HaTzadik, Uvoi Sidbak, that was glued to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then the end of the pasuk, Uvishmoi Tishabeya. You can swear in the name of Hashem. Anyone that's not included in that pasuk, doesn't fit in that pasuk, for him, a shvua will carry a huge, more than he can take, a punishment that starts in this world, but does not expiate the sin. This is terrible. The person suffers, but doesn't take anything away from the sin, because that sin is so big. We're going to need to explain this. And he brings a proof that the king Behar had 2,000 cities, and they all got destroyed, even though he swore in truth. Wow. This midrash is giving me a bomb one after another. It's not the fact that you lie. So there's a few degrees we see here. First degree is, do not lie on the shore, do not cross your shore, do not transgress it. That's there's no tshuva on this. Impossible. Second level is, you did swear, but it was for the truth. But you're not part of this pasuk. You don't abide to these categories mentioned in the pasuk that you're really fearing HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're really worshiping HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you're really attached to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You don't have these midas. That point, you will be punished even if it's in truth. So we see from here that the shvu itself carries a very dangerous, it's a sword. It's a sword. And then we see that the lowest part, do not do anything, do not swear. The Gemara says in Shabbos, Tanya Rabbi Nassan Oimer. We learned in the Brisa that Rabbi Nassan said, Ba'avay Nedarim, because of sinning and making Nedarim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes the wife of a person. It's a death sentence. Unbelievable. As it says in Mishlei, the pasuk we saw before, Im ein lecha leshalem, if you do not have funds to pay for your neder, lama yikach mishkavcha mitachtecha. Why should your couch be taken away from under you? That's the pasuk Rabbi Nassan brings as a proof that HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes the wife of a person. Rebbe adds that even his children, young children, they die. Because it says in the pasuk, in Koheles, al titen es picha, do not allow your mouth lehachti es besarecha, to sin, basically, to soil your flesh. Ve'al toima lifnei hamalach, and don't say before the malach hamaves, oh, you know what? I didn't do it on purpose. Kishkagahi. It was like, why should HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the pasuk keeps on, get angry at you? V'chibel esmase yadecha, and will destroy your accomplishments. What's the accomplishment, says Rebbe, of a person? It's his sons and daughters. And Rebbe Lazar, the son of Shimon Bar Yochai, says, indeed, because, and that's the Gemara. We haven't started with the Zohar. We are still in the Pshat, in Mamish. We see that even halacha-wise, there's such an importance to the Dibur. From the Dibur is something that's Machri Boilamas, and we're going to have to go down a little bit to understand why such a harsh punishment. Not only it's harsh, but who carries the punishment? Okay, yes, the person will suffer because his wife will be taken away from him. But what about you take him? You don't think it's a harsher punishment? If he deserves such a harsh punishment, okay, you take his children, that's he would much rather go himself. But his wife, what would you do that? Very difficult subject to try to, it's so abstract, and we have to develop it and at the same time try to grasp, every aspect of it, because there's so many facets on which a person is receiving chas v'shalom oines, because the midas derachamim don't apply to him no more. They're gone. Every Jew has midas derachamim. This guy, it's like in a new type of world. He's not any longer in our world. The Rekanati, Menachem Rekanati, the Kodesh Kodashim he was. I need to mention, do you know how old he was when he wrote his Sefer? Huge Sefer, the Rekanati, huge. Even his time on the mitzvahs and his chuvas, huge. Was a Rishon. At the end of the era of the Rishonim. He was 85 years old. All his life he davened to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He was should I use the word chas v'shalom on such a tzaddik? But just to enhance what I'm going to say after, I'm going to use that word, mediocre. He was nothing special. And he always thrived to be big. He wanted to understand. One time he dreamt, he was 85 years old, and an old man came in his dream and told him with a drink in a hand, and he told him, drink and you will understand. And he drank, and the next morning he was a different person. He was 85 years old when this happened. Should never give up. Kadosh Baruch Hu is always here. He brings a pasuk. He's going to go in the etymology of the words in order to explain us, the whole India. His words are huge. When Avram, Al ken kara lamakim hahu Be'er Sheva, actually says in the pasuk. That's why he called that place, the city, Parasha. Kisham nishbeu shneihem. He was, it was with Yitzchak Avimelech. With Avimelech, because they swore both of them there. You can see that the city is called Be'er Sheva, 7, because of the word of Shvuah. In other words, he tells you that the word shvua refers to the word shiva, 7. Now you understand why shvua in our pasuk is written without a vav, because you can read it without nekudas. You can read it shiva. So shiva, shvua. What's the connection? Because the pasuk says in Mishlei that when the bina bereshis bara Eloikim, base, Zohar says in Tikkunim, base because of bina. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world at the beginning with bina, and Shlomo HaMelech said, what did the bina do? The bina carved 7 poles in order to create the world. Now, those who come Shabbos, you already guessed my words. You don't need my explanation on this. What are the 7 poles? The 7 midas: Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hoid, Yesod, Malchus. They all came out of the Bina. In other words, the pasuk Shlomo HaMelech tells us that it's the Bina that created the 7 other midas. Like a mother that has 7 children, the Bina had 7 children from Chesed all the way to Malchus. Okay, fine. Now, when a person transgresses his Shavua, he transgresses the 7 days, my severity, right? Because it doesn't say in 6 days. It didn't say ki b'sheshes yamim. Asa Hashem es hashamayim v'esaret. It didn't say within 6 days. It says ki sheshes yamim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created 6 days plus the Shabbos, so we have 7 altogether. That's the envelope. That's the world we live in. That's our box. So when a person swears in the name of Hashem, there's no more box for you. Okay, I understand. So he's not anymore within the rules of Torah from Tiferes. So I understand. Nothing applies to him. He is it's a different breed. He is in a different world. And in that world, there's no tshuva, there's nothing. And we'll explain exactly why. Exactly why. And we're going to know exactly where he is. Because it's too important. If I can have the zchus to only wake up one person about paying attention to his words, it's enough for my Olam Haba. Says the Rekanati HaKadosh, the only reason HaKadosh Baruch Hu created a mouth to the person, as it says in Tehillim, Tehilas Hashem Yedaber Pi. A mouth was exclusively created to say shiros and tishbachos to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's all. If he uses his mouth any different way, he transgresses also the apostle. Last week, okay, those who were in the shir on Wednesday did not hear it because we learned it on Shabbos. But I'm going to say tonight so the rest of the people understand this is fundamental. There's a chida, we learned it in the Zohar, but the chida crystallizes in a beautiful way. Beautiful way. It's very short, so I'm not going to repeat the long thing that we learned on Shabbos. It's very short. The chida says there are 3 alliances that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made with the person. The alliance with the eyes, the bris einayim, that he v'lo yisasuru acharei levavchem v'acharei einechem. the bris of the tongue. Do not speak everything you want. Control your mouth. And the bris milah, that you have to be human, a yid, a malach, basically. Do not be like the other goyim that do anything. Like we said about the Beis Hamikdash 2 weeks ago, that the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed not for sinas chinam, not for anything else. All this is baloney. First of all, you look into the midrashim. People who translate this like this, that the Bate Mikdashos were because of sinas chinam, they don't understand. They didn't learn. It's only because Yehuda kodesh Lashem. Because Yehuda was mechalel the bris. Ubal, which one? Ubal bas el necha. He went with the shikta. He went with a non-Jewish woman. So it's the chilul of the bris to put the bris kodesh in the sitra achra. That's it. That's the reason that the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, and that's the reason the Beis Hamikdash hasn't been rebuilt. That's it. It doesn't go further. We'll be quiet. Kodesh Lashem says the Chida Kodesh that these three brises are basically all connected. There's no such a thing as a person will allow himself to see what he shouldn't see, and will not be choite with the other brises. These three alliances are one. There's no such a thing that a person will allow himself to say leitzanus or anything and not be choite also with the other brises. He says there's no such a mitzvah. There's no such a thing. One tells you on the rest. You're not a navi, but we learn from Chachamim. And he learns it from the pasuk, Kiyim ol ma'al. What it means ma'al? Mem for me'oir, it's the bris milah. Ayin for einayim. Lamed for loshen. Whichever one a person is transgressing is over on everything. Now, when you take the word Tehilas Hashem Yedaber Pi, what is Pi? How much is Pi? It's 90. By the way, like mine. 90, yes. We'll see the correlation afterward. 90 plus the koilel equals 91. The math is kodesh. Has to be used to do the yichud, yud ke vav ke, aleph dalet nun yud. That's the only thing, exactly like the word of the Rekanati. Now, I'm going to have to go show you on the share screen. These are the names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that come down, that bring the Shefa. If you, the Ralab, okay? Ab, Sag, Ma, Ben. How many Yudin you have here? If you calculate how many Yudin? One in the Ab, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Sag in the Bina, 1, 2, 3, 7 altogether. And in Ma, 1, 8. In Ben, 9. In other words, the Peh is keneged the 9 Yudin. Where is the Shefa in all these names? In the Yud, in the smallest letter. So you see, you have much more Shefa as you go further up. But the Shefa is in the letter Yud. And the Peh can bring all the 9 Yudin down below. So that's the Indian of Akoil Kol Yaakov. Through, we don't understand the power of these names. No Bria, can withstand the power of this. Person get destroyed like Sancherib, like all these kings, like Oig Melech HaBashan, like Sichon. All this was done, these words, with the mouth. So when a person speaks bad, it says in the Pasuk, in Tehillim, look at the language of the Pasuk. I don't want to go too deep into it because Kifi Rasha, the mouth of a Rasha. The mouth is a Rasha. Yes, the mouth makes a person a Rasha. Fi Rasha. Ufi Mirma Olai Pasach. On myself, they're open. Look at this. If we take, we don't understand what P Russia, what this equals to 660. And if you remember the share of last week, this is El Neicha plus Nachash. A person has lost the Yud-Ke Vav-Ke, which is inside, the Shakai that's outside, and has been replaced by the Nechar. And as Menachem said so well because I used to call it Naran di Gdusha, Nefesh Ruach Neshama of Gdusha, and Naran of Sitra Achra. And if you look, you have the Rasha here. What is a person made of? Of three components. Nechar, Nun. Let me grab the color here. We have P, so he has Rasha from the Pe, Reish, and he has, as an Neshama, the Nachash. So here is the Naran of the Sitra Achra. Nechar, Rasha, Nachash. Instead of having Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, you understand why this person cannot come back. P Rasha, when a person has a pay of a Rasha, automatically, now we understand the Zohar in Metzoira, why he has to go out of the camp, because he has in himself the Nechar, the Rasha, and the Nachash. And he cannot be amongst the Bnei Yisrael. A person that soils his mouth, a person that's moel in his shvur, in his neder, automatically he becomes a part of the other side. And this, what did he lose if we look exactly on the same level? If you take 3 times Tahir, it's equal to 660, 220 Tahir with a curve. Or no, exactly, 220. So 660, what does it tell you here? It tells you when you have Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, the 3 at Tahir, the Naran Digdusha. The P Rasha is the metronome that's going to decide where you're holding and who inhabits that person. It's the Pei. The Pei builds a person, and the mouth destroys the person. Let's go back to the Shir. We have still to understand, we understand the gravity. Now we have a better look. We understand what happens to the person. We understand why he has such a harsh punishment. I mean, we started to understand. But we don't understand. At the end of the day, the neder and the shvur, why should you be so stringent? We understand the rest of what happened, but we don't really understand the fundamental reason. Down below, what is so important? Okay, I said something, I could not keep it, I had many reasons why, and so forth. But why do you have to be so harsh with that person? Why? Ki lo yenake. But that's not fair. You know, Venake is what? Is 161. Is the Shem Kasa of the Bina. Aleph, Hey Yud, Yud Vav Dalet, Hey Yud. The first name of the Bina. It's the name in the Keser. What? I lost all the midas of Kedusha. I don't belong. I'm not Jewish anymore. No, that person is Erev Rav and not Jewish anymore. Why? Because what classifies a Jew is if he has the three levels of Tahar, Nefesh Tahar, Ruach Tahar, and Neshama Tahar. That's the three level. Ben Israel is not who you were born from, is who you are, how you use your mouth. That will classify you either as a Jew or as an Erev Rav. And some, even as Amalek, the Zohar says. They develop in them, they bring the clip of Kelev, of the dog, which is Amalek, they bring it on themselves. Let's try to understand. Rav Nubachia here, don't bring the Ramban because it's a bit more intense what he says. Tremendous things. Brings down exactly the words of almost of the Tanchuma, that the reason the Nedarim are forbidden because a person would come to transgress also the Shavua. Now, we asked a simple question on the Tanchuma before. We said, look, Lo Yachel Devaro, there's a law on this. You're telling me that it's only Exera. It's not Exera from the Pasuk, but here now, it's a bomb we can ask on Rabbeinu Bachya. Any Dibur, Parasha, the person changes his own inner. He becomes part of the Sitra Achra. You're telling me on Neder there's nothing? A simple Dibur can change a person. Kol sheken a Neder. I don't know if I should tell you that Indian, but it's going to take us a little bit too deep, and I see the time is flying again. And I would like to give you a huge chiddush on Yom Kippur. Huge. Not for me, it's from the Zohar Kodesh. We see, but Rabbeinu Bachya is going to bring us one point that's going to start putting us on the in line. And what is it? It's going to be a neder. Someone who transgresses the neder can make tshuva. Can make tshuva. So basically, there is an Indian of Isser in there. But someone who's over on a shvua will be punished in this world, as we said from the Tanchuma. It will not take away anything from the sin, and will be punished again on the later on. I don't know if I skipped something from the Rekanati before, or I didn't skip, but I'll tell you a little bit. The Ramban Kodesh, his words in this Parasha, you know, they open me the eyes on everything. In a few lines, you know, I couldn't understand his language, but after I learned everything, I went back to see what he says. I really understood. He said there's a fundamental difference between Shvua and Neder. Neder, it says always Lashem. To Hashem. A Neder to Hashem. By Shvua, it says Bashem. Every Shavuot it says Vashbiacha. When Abraham told Eliezer to swear Vashbiacha B'Hashem, like in Hashem. When David HaMelech Bathsheba came and said it was Avshalom that declared himself a king, she went to see David HaMelech and says, "You promised me that my son Shlomo will be king after you." So David HaMelech said, "Ka'ashen ishbati lach b'Hashem." Again, with the base, not with the lamed. Says the Ramban, brings down according to the Sifri, which is Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, that when someone makes a neder, it's basically a type of swearing in the life of the king. Chei Hashem, like we said, on the life of the king. V'chei nafshach, on the life of a person, on his life. When a person makes a shvur, he makes a shvur on the king himself. Okay, it seems a little bit dark reasoning here. Like, what does it mean in the life of the king or in the king himself? What difference if you take the life or if you take the king? What difference? So we're gonna have to go a little bit deeper in order. So it's Talmud. You always when the Ramban says something and it's not very clear, usually you have at least part of the explanation in Rabbeinu Bachye. Rabbeinu Bachye, most of his Torahs, come from the Ramban, his Rebbe. So Rabbeinu Bachye says, what is neder? Nun dar. 50 is the house of 50. Who is the house of 50? Lives in the 50. What is 50? 50 is the 50 sharim. Where are the 50 sharim? In the Bina. Now we're going to start having definitions about everything. We're going to stop guessing. Now we're going to go into the understanding of the Indian. So we have, so far on the Shavua, we had the 7 lower midas, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchus. So on the lower end, we have the Shvua. Above, where all the one that gave birth to those 7 midas is the Bina, the mother. The father being the Chachma, Abba. Ima is the Bina. Zun, the children, are Kucha Berichu and the Shechina, the son and the daughter. That's how it goes. I know I'm shocking some minds. They don't even know what they're talking about, these people. Meaning that when we refer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we refer to the Midah of the Tiferes. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kucha Berichu, is the Tiferes. The Tiferes goes with the Malchus, Kucha Berichu, Ushchinte. When we say Baruch Atah Hashem, Yudke Vavke is the name of the Ein Sof. Way higher, way higher. We don't understand. We have no grasp of what's going on there. This is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Ein Sof. When I repeated that word, HaKadosh Baruch Hu means the inner, the source. When we speak about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, us in the thing, so people who think we are, it's the lower part, no, it's the upper part, the Ein Sof. Just a little bracket. Because when we say a bracha, we should connect ourselves with the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. That we say that bracha to the Ein Sof, not to the middle of the Tiferes, because the middle of the Tiferes is Kudsha Baruch Hu. So I was in the words explanation of the words of the Ramban through Rabbeinu Bachya, that the neder is in the bina higher than the shvua. Now you understand why with the neder you can say, "Oh, I make a neder not to eat matzah on the night of Pesach. It's a mitzvah d'oraisa." You can cancel a mitzvah d'oraisa with the neder. With the shvua, you cannot cancel because it's lower. The world of the Torah is the bina. If you're under the bina, you cannot cancel what's above you. It's more powerful than you. Therefore, someone says, "I swear not to eat matzah on Pesach." His shvua doesn't take effect, and he gets marcus. He gets punished because he said shvuas bitu. It's a shvua that means nothing. So he used the Shem Hashem for no reason. So the one now we can deduct from here, from the words of Rabbeinu Bachya, that's a person that transgresses a neder, he transgresses the 50 she'arim, gates of the bina. In other words, it seems to come just the opposite of how we started this year. When we started this year, we said it was the shvua was more important. Now we see that the shvua is not more important. The neder is higher. So we're getting a little bit lost. The Rekanati comes and says, indeed, the neder is in the bina, higher than the shvua is in the 7 meters lower. And despite that, the shvua is much more chomer, because when the person is affecting the bina, he cannot really affect everything. Therefore, he's still in the world. What has he done? He has separated Yud-K from Vav-K. He's going to pay his price. But the Vav-Hey, the world down below, is still 7. In other words, I'm going to jump in the Zohar to explain this because I see the time flying. The Bina is the Nesher HaGadol, is the big eagle. It's on top of its nest, where it has a boy and a girl, babies, small eagles. As long as the eagle is on its nest, you know that no bird will come and try to attack. They're so scared of the eagle. When a person does the same thing, when the Bina is on Bnei Yisrael, on Kudsha Baruch Hu and Shechinte, automatically Bnei Yisrael have a protection. When the Yud-K is above the Vav-Hey, there's nothing to worry. Now, when a person transgresses the neder, he makes a pirud, but the Yud-Hey always remains as a yichud. The Vav-Hey still has a yichud. He has made a blank in between the yichud elyon and the yichud tachton. The upper yichud, the Yud-Hey, with the lower one, the Vav-Hey. So now the chitzonim have an access, and the goyim, some Jews will be affected by this, and therefore he will pay his due price. But his remedy is to reconnect them. It's doable. So he hasn't broken any yichud per se. When you do the shvua, when it's taking away the malchus, the 7th, shvua, shiva, it's written shiva in the Torah, the 7th, is affecting the malchus. Who is he putting instead? The shivcha, the sitra achra. Oh, now you're affecting all the Jews. And now you're transgressing also the Melech HaKadosh. You put Kaviyachol in his bed, the Shivcha, the servant, you remove the Malka, you kidnap the Malka and you put, the anger of the king has no limit on that person. No limits. We understand, despite that the fact that the Shvur is below the Neder, but what's affected by it is much more stringent. That's what's affected by a Neder. Therefore, there's no tshuva on this. Says the Zohar. That's why we say Kol Nidre on Yom Kippur. Because the Chochmah and the Bina, the Yud Kei, which are the name of the Geula, we will be freed by the name Yud Kei, will come and be mevato the neder and the shavua of Kudsha Berichu and his Shechina. What is that, the shavua and the neder? That Bnei Israel should be in Galus till the end of time. So when we say Kol Nidre, we basically davening, because where is the Yom Kippur? Yom Kippur is in the Bina. It's the Olam HaTshuva. It's the world of Tshuva. That's why the Tshuva is very easy on Yom Kippur. So what we davening? We davening that the Yud Kei should come and be mevatel. So when we say La Shevikin, Yehoin Shevikin Ushvisin, La Sheririn Vela Kayamin, that the neder of the Shavua of the Kudsha Berichu that they made on the Galus on Bnei Yisrael should be annulled. We're nullifying with Kol Nidre because we already did Hataras Nedarim after Rosh Hashanah. So what's the point to start Yom Kippur with Hataras Nedarim? We start Yom Kippur to try to be matir the neder of Kudsha Berichu and the Shechina about the Galus of Bnei Yisrael, and automatically, if there's no such neder and such shvua, automatically there's a geula. That's the whole inyan. So we understand how a person is binding himself with neder and shvua, and so Bnei Yisrael are bounded till the end of time because of their actions, to the point that Kudsha Berichu and Shechinte made a neder and a shvur that they should remain in Galus. Huge world. That Kol Nidre is not for us. So when a person says Kol Nidre and he has sorrows, he has to have in mind that all the Gzeros, which are in term shvurs, that were made in the Olam HaYisrael in the upper world, the Chochmah and the Bina should be mevatel them. It should be freed from that. And automatically, doesn't even have to say Machar should go. So the Chochmah and the Bina, Abba and Ima, should erase, nullify these shvuos and these nedarim, and automatically the person will be free. I just want to go and give you a little bit of more insight to explain you this and leave it at this. I'm going to explain simply so I go fast. You know, on the spheres, they're all attached to 3 strings. On the right, Chesed. On the middle, Rachamim. On the left, Gvura. Chasadim, Rachamim, Gvuras. The 3. These 3, I call the 3 Dayanim. They are the ones that judge. Sometimes the Gzera is going to come from Chazasham, the person did the oven from the Gvura. The Chesed and the Rachamim will say, you're right, you know, Schayev, there's 3 Dayanim side. the Menachem, do me 3 times 74. I'm remembering about something right now. 74 and 74 is 148 plus 74, 222. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry?
22, yeah.
Let me raise the microphone here. What do you say, Doc?
222, yeah, that's right.
Oh, 222. When we say Ze Hadavar, when Moshe Rabbeinu said, and we asked the beginning the question, what do you mean Ze Hadavar? Ze Hadavar, these things means are going to be judged by the 3 Dayanim. The 3 Dayanim, they all have a characteristic. Chesed is mine, like the pay. We said chesed. Instead of being chesed, now we have words in the mouth when we talk bad. So chesed is mine. Rachamim, the center one, is avir, air. The left one, gvura, is eish. 3 of the 4 basic elements with which everyone is created. Sefer Yetzirah, the Sefer Abba Mavinu, is huge on this. Would have Bes Hashem chances to talk about this, but these 3 Dayanim always make a din emes. If I take just here. So we have Avir. Mayim. I don't know why it jumps. Let me start again. Let's say Mayim, Avir, and H equal 608. 608, if you take the word emes in full, Aleph, Mem, Sub, equal this. Basically, these are the 3 Dayanim, and they always give a din emes. Always. And that's what it means. These are the 3 Dayanim that always judge the action of a person. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes. These are the 3. This equals also Yimloich, Hashem. Now you're going to understand why. Okay, I'm going to say it because I don't want to waste time. Yimloich Hashem le'olam, Eloi kaich tzion. In these words, you have all the words of the Raman. Imloich Hashem le'olam. Hashem le'olam is the Chaye Melech, the life of the Melech. Eloi kaich tzion, the Malchus on the Shavua. If we see Shavua equals 378. 377 plus the Koilel, 378. 378 is the Chashmal. We learned the Or Meikif on Shabbos. We learned it very well. The electrical field that the person has around him that the nefesh of the Goy sees, and that's why he doesn't attack. On the other hand, 377 equal Ruach Zanuni. A person with his mouth, we see, he can create himself either the Chashmal, which is basically the Ur Mekif, his protection, or he can Chaz v'Shalom create himself his downfall, that he brings the shivcha, and he has a nefesh ruach neshama chmanitznan of sitra achra. Therefore, this person is not part of Bnei Israel. We see from here the power of the dibur, the power of konidre, the power of any words, anything that come through the mouth. On the other hand, we gain knowledge of a bad mouth versus a good mouth. What happens to the inside the person, his life? Who is he? Himself. He doesn't realize he changed. Number three, we learned that a person has three alliances. Whenever he sins with one, he sins with three. That's what this parasha comes to teach us. That's the depth. And you're going to see Shabbos how much deeper we're going to go. But this is enough. This is a message that should everyone keep in his mind, and every time think twice and not let his emotion overtake him in order to say something derogative on even a Russia. He should teach, he should learn. It's very, very, very hard. Very, very, very hard. But as long as we're alive, we have a chance to succeed. As long as we try. But a person should constantly try. Amen. Amen. Have a good night, everyone. B'ez Hashem, have a great Shabbos. Those I'm not going to see, and those I'm going to see, B'ez Hashem will see. So tomorrow night, Shir on just for those who are still here, Shir Zohar on at Beis Menachem at 7 p.m. All right, call to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.